Thank you for coming once again to the channel. I want to thank every single person who commented, liked, and subscribed since my first fragrance video. Welcome once again. Today, what's on the menu is a couple of samples that I've worked my way through. I'm going to start with this one. I got this one uh, from them themselves. They sent me in the mail. I get samples from time to time. I worked my way through it. I do like the fact that they have removed the guesswork for me in a sense. And quite honestly, this is the bad boy line of fragrances is I think something that Carolina Herrera is doing that kind of pushes some of the boundaries. Carolina Herrera being definitely a house that where we wouldn't expect a lot of boundaries to be pushed since it is a designer frag. Everybody knows that designer frags are not usually meant to push boundaries, yet are more designed to be mass appealing because obviously the idea behind their fragrances is to sell as many as possible. And but I will say that these bad boy line of fragrances have been kind of a surprise to me personally. The original Bad Boy, very sweet yet hyper fresh and citrusy in the opening. It's something that's not really. I mean, that grapefruit opening is absolutely 100% amazing. I think everybody can can attest to that grapefruit just kind of really hitting you in the face. Uh, that spicy, peppery, chocolatey, sweet tonka that it becomes, the amberwood and that everybody's familiar with, and then the La Parfum that came out recently with that very prominent cannabis note, very unmistakable, very distinct. And then they came out with this, and this is probably going to be their most safe blind buy of the group. It's got that geranium, which gives it that really fresh. It doesn't give it as much of a flowery take. This is not your rose heavy type of geranium. This is very much kind of a greener geranium, but quite honestly, the majority of this fragrance is going to be that black plum, that sweetness, that's going to be what makes this very different from most blue fragrances out there. There aren't any citrusy notes. There aren't very many woodsy notes, unless you consider vetiver to be a woodsy note, which in most cases, it's actually, I guess it could be, but in most cases, it's more of an earthy. But this is definitely beautiful, definitely aromatic, as it says there. And that truffle accord definitely gives off well, it kind of feeds off that vetiver and gives it that dusty earthiness, but without being a dirty, dusty earthiness. I actually really like this. I hope to actually get the full presentation for myself. So thank you, Carolina Herrera, for sending me that. And then my sister-in-law, who I'm hoping will be watching this, Diane, she gave me this one. She had a couple, one for her husband, one for me, and again, this one takes all the guesswork out of it because lets us know it's got black pepper, iris. I will say one of the notes that's not on here, and I know that it's on here, is the geranium. See, I'm so nervous, guys. I don't do this often. Just so you know, this is the Bad Boy Cobalt. This is the Gentleman by Givenchy Eau de Parfum Boisee, which stands for woodsy, and it definitely is. I was pleasantly surprised. The intro for a lot of people might be a little difficult because I gotta say that chocolate comes in from the get go. It's supposed to be in the mid, but quite honestly, it comes in from the get go and mixing with that geranium, again, giving it that greenish flowery note and that coriander, which isn't on here. and that black pepper. I want to say that it gives it a kind of a boozy feel. I don't see in the notes at all either where there's any kind of whiskey or anything like that. But I gotta say, because of the freshness, it's almost effervescent and, quite honestly, in my opinion, a little boozy. And then that iris comes in, which is an absolutely gorgeous. Uh, Fragrances that have iris in it have been I've been a fan of, and well, that sandalwood comes in, that woodsy note, definitely that patchouli, which is in its chocolatey facet. I definitely want to get one of these as well, but not as much as one of these. This one, because the Gentleman Eau de Parfum, not the Boisee, is probably just a little better in the way it functions. Now, obviously, I still might. Everybody knows that to really get the full experience of a fragrance, these little samplers just kind of let you know what the juice is like, but you don't get the full experience because there's something that happens in the atomization that really, really fills the senses in a different way. But these are two samples that I went through over the last 3 days, and I like them both. Tell me your thoughts. Any colognes that you have sampled that you decided to buy? Let me know. If there's any colognes that you'd like to that you have any questions about that I might have had or that I might actually have in the collection, let ask me about them.